Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. I hope we are well. I hope you're having yourself a good day today, whatever is you're up to today. I hope you're enjoying it. And yeah, you're looking forward to some good transfer chat. We've got loads to talk about. I was never going to do a live today because I thought it's Tuesday. It's a bit of a dead day for a live, if I'm honest. I say that, but sort of looking at what I was doing really research wise ahead of a video for this evening, there was so much to talk about. All right. So yes, good evening all. So yeah, we got loads to talk about today. We've got stuff referring to Eberit Eze. We've got some stuff on Conor Gallagher, Buongiorno. We've got some updates on Spurs' sort of movements towards the window. We've got we've got loads, to be honest. It's all on my phone. So if you ever see me looking over here, you're there on my live chat. I'm over here looking at my phone. So I promise you, I'm not being rude. It's just where a lot of my information is. But yes, evening all. Ninja Swing's having a heavy night on a Saturday night. I'm here for it, mate. I'm here for it. Hi, Lynch, mate. Yeah, there he is, Mr. Van Gogh himself. I am going live. Oh, it's got some Spanish chat from Marfin. And there you go, Teddy. Hello, mate. You're right. Right. Anyway, let's I want to just talk. I actually want to just start really quickly, just Conor Gallagher, because I think it's a little bit boring, the whole Conor Gallagher chat. But if I try to just get it in, get out of the way, move on. You see what I mean? Hello, Peter from Canada. By the way, if you're not aware, this is more of a stream for sort of the Americans and North American side of the world that can't make the early morning streams. Hence why there's a double stream week. All right. So yeah, Conor Gallagher, he was talking. And he was talking about, obviously, the new manager, Enzo Maresca. And he said that myself and everyone at Chelsea are excited and happy to work with Enzo Maresca. We want to get Chelsea back to where they belong. And for me, this is, I think a lot of Spurs fans kind of reacted in such a way, but I think this is more of a situation of PR. So I think his agents have kind of said, look, we want to put something out there, supporting the manager. It probably buys you a better deal elsewhere, maybe. It's all a tactical ploy, in my opinion. He needs to get sold. Chelsea don't have the money because of financial fair play. He needs to get sold. So I think just wanted to get that one in early doors. We can ignore it, move on. You know what I mean? So we talk about that. Harry, hold off on Tanganga. I've got some quotes from Neil Harris, the Millwall manager. So I'll be there with you in a minute, all right? And Mr. Van Gogh, I do probably agree there are better options. But yeah, so that's just a little bit on Conor Gallagher. Right, I want to talk about a little bit from what came out from The Athletic regarding a little bit of some of the moves Spurs may be looking to do this summer. So it says that Spurs want to identify a defensive midfielder, which will make some of you happy, and a wide forward to add to their ranks this summer. Spurs will also move for players depending on departures. For example, if Emerson leaves, they will focus on the right back. If they lose Ben Davies, they'll go for a left-sided defender. If Giovani Lo Celso leaves, Spurs will target an attacking midfielder. I spoke about Gio earlier, by the way. Apologies. Yeah, I spoke about Gio earlier, by the way, which if you have missed any of my videos, go back and have a look, watch them after this one, all right? I do actually have another development on Gio as well. I think Emerson will be going, so I think there'll be the right back coming in. I think if Ben Davies goes, I don't think it really changes much because I think Spurs are going to be doing movements in that left back, left centre back role. And yeah, Gio, I expect to move. So I don't really think there's much in that regard. I think we're always going to be looking at midfielders, defensive or not. And we know that we're already still looking for a wide attacker or wide forward or winger, regardless of Timo, as well as a striker. So I don't think that's too shocking, to be honest. So we have that. Right. Harry, I want to come to Japhet Tanganga, mate. So you beat me to it. Honestly, Harry, mate, you stop being efficient, all right? We don't like efficient people. What do we think? If this closes the door for Gallagher, does this open up for Eze? I think Eze is number one, mate. I think Eze is number one. I don't think it closes the door for Gallagher either, to be honest. What do we think of Arsenal? Well, I can't say that because of monetization, mate. So, but you know what you know what I would say. It was really silent around number 6. What do you expect? It's only talked about Gray, but it was a report that he would be right back. Well, Gray can play right back as well as sort of that central midfield area. And to be honest, let's think of Pedro Porro. When on earth do you ever see him really at right back other than defence? Because he's playing centre midfield all the time. So I think there's plenty of players on the list of that sort of CDM, that number 6 role. You know, your Fafanas, your Ananas, your Viflas. You know, there's quite a lot on that list. I think there'll be more, to be honest. Spurs always have many players on their list per position, so I don't think it's shocking. There's many positions to work on, to be fair. God, there really is. Honestly, I genuinely wouldn't want to have to do the job of Daniel Levy and the people around him this summer, because actually this is a summer where they're going to be absolutely hammering phones and emails. And if they don't, you know what I think about that. Oh, Stinger Nettle, mate, how are we? Hope work was all right, mate. And you actually did some work. Yeah. I know you what you people are like. Never do any work. I hope you get Eze. Absolutely shocking that we released him when he was younger. Well, I hope we get Eze as well. Watching him last night for England, I was like, even though it's a friendly, and we never really seem to be bothered in friendlies, Eze seemed to be the guy. You know what I mean? He was just running at people, beating people. He's electric. I was like, yeah, just do it. Get it done. Edison is no longer probable. I think Edison's still on the list. I'm just thinking because basically that it came out, I think it was earlier, that Juventus are still looking to sort the Coop Miners deal. I think that makes the deal for Edison tougher, knowing that Atalanta won't need any money from that deal. Plus, I think Atalanta get obviously Champions League football next year, so money wise, they're going to be in the money for next season. So that's why. Right, Japhet Tanganga time. So it comes from the Millwall boss, Neil Harris, and he said, and he was on Japhet Tanganga. He said, it's really important that everyone understands, not just Neil Harris and his teammates, but the whole football club is a big fan of Japhet Tanganga. I think I've made it that clear in previous articles. I'd love to work with him. Japhet is a player who will be in demand over this transfer window. As a football club, sometimes we can only push as far when we go through a process which is involving individuals, agents, and a football club. It's safe to say that we've pushed hard to see if Japhet is a possibility for us in this window. Where I am hugely respectful as well is that there's a lot that goes into signing a player. It's not just involving money between clubs and agents. It's a lot different. It becomes a lot of different scenarios. Family becomes a huge one. When players have options to move, to maybe move abroad, they have to speak to them as well. There are moments in players' careers which are hugely pivotal. We are massively respectful at the early part of June, not just with Jaff, but with other players as well. Things have to be aligned. Of course, we like Japhet, but there are a lot of aspects going to signing a player. So I think for Harry, obviously, you beat me to the punch. With Japhet, I still think, obviously we've accepted that bid. What was it? Probably about a couple of weeks ago now. We accepted that bid from Millwall for Japhet Tanganga. So I just think it's one of those that the window still doesn't open for a little while. I just think he's taking his time. And I get why he would. It makes a ton of sense to take his time, So there is that on that side of things. Eze and Gallagher would drastically improve our homegrown. Well, if you're adding 2 instead of adding 0, that's going to help, isn't it? Yeah, bloody Lynchy. Killing me there killing me with maths on a Tuesday evening. I left school a long time ago. God. Any word on Murillo? Since he has potential to play left centre back as well as left back, however, I do think his potential to be also as a player as a deeper number 6. It's just a player that we have kept an eye on, mate. It's just a player that we kept an eye on. It's not something that like I said, we're looking at so many different players, and I'll be talking about obviously Buongiorno in a bit. So there's plenty of players on the list that we're still looking at. Well, I think it's not something that Spurs are going to be sorting straight away. I just have a vibe that they're going to be looking into the attack first. Unless something pops up, obviously, that changes everything. Apart from getting good players, we also need them to be homegrown. I guess that's why Ange is so keen on Gallagher. Ange was keen on Gallagher in the previous summer. I just think he's a guy that suits that number 8 role that Ange has. A bit like Sarr, even Basuma. You could sit with Basuma, could suit that 8 role. So I think that's why. The fact he's homegrown helps. I do genuinely think that. I thought Gallagher was all right yesterday for England. He wasn't amazing. Adam Wharton was good. I'll give you that though. Good Lord, he's going to be a player, Adam Wharton. He really is. How about Solanke? No real news coming on Solanke, Jensen, anything like that at the moment. It's been a bit quiet on that front. More so on Tony and Jimenez and players like that, but not Solanke. Thoughts on the new kit? I don't mind it. I think it's going to be one of those that's going to grow on me the more maybe I see it live and see it when we're actually playing in it. But right now, it just seems like your typical night kits. There seems to be no sort of like creativity. If you look at like the England goalkeeper yellow kit, look at what Ederson was wearing yellow kit wise, and you think that's basically the same thing. As I said, he was devastated when Arsenal Academy released him at 13. He cried for a solid week. Makes total sense. Eze would come to Spurs. You always want to get your own back, don't you, in life? Hey? I meant in quality. Yes, no, I did get what you mean, Lynchy. I was only winding you up, mate. I did get what you mean. It's funny how all my FM24 prospects are now linked with Spurs. It's because, Teddy, mate, I'm going to have to go and get you a job at Spurs to be a scout because evidently you're ahead of the game. Gallagher is always like that when he plays. He isn't putting anything special. He's just always decent. I tell you who used to be a bit like that. This is not a blaster in the past, but I always used to call him Mr. 7 out of 10. Scotty Parker. I'm always Mr. 7 out of 10. Who do you reckon will most likely end up being our striker? I don't know. I'll say Richarlison right now. How about that? Right, moving on. Right. I want to talk about things that are impacting the Eze situation. Okay. So we've got, obviously, the situation. We want Eze. Shock. Andy's sitting here giving and delivering crazy news. We want Eze, right? So I've got a couple little bits of information that will impact this situation. So how I talked about Ederson and how, Koopmeiners is being sold is going to make a big impact on that. This is going to follow suit. So I actually have it on a different page. Give me a second. I'll find it now. Right. So from Santiago Una, who said that Chelsea have made contact with Crystal Palace winger Michael Elise ahead of the potential summer transfer. Now, we know Chelsea want Elise. That's not shocking. They seem to be like the number one target for Elise, right? So, again, don't think that's like crazy news, right? What I want to add to this is this little bit of news that came out earlier today. And it's a guy that I've spoken about before, and I quite like him. I think he's a decent player, and he's been linked to Spurs. But it says that, and he actually has been linked to Palace before as well, but Crystal Palace are pushing for Matthias Sully. Sully is an extremely impressive loan at Frosinone, 11 goals, 3 assists. Solid player, all right? Solid player. So, yeah, he plays on the right wing, so he would be the Elise replacement. I think even players like Somerville could be a shout at Palace if they were to move off of Eze. If you're going to sell these two guys for, let's say, 120 million, and you can replace them with 50 million pounds worth of players, that's what Palace do. Palace just know how to replace their wingers, So just a little bit on that front, because I think it's key to know that things are in the pipeline that can affect situations. And thinking of things that can affect situations, and new managers at clubs affect transfers, right? Shocking, I know. And I'm coming to that and submit, yes, MBR, mate. How are we? Are England at Hotspur Way? Do you know what? I'm going to say no, because they were playing in Newcastle yesterday. Maybe they are tonight, but they weren't yesterday. Do you have a chance for a title fight next year and for Europa League? Jensen, ask me after the summer window. How about that? Italy versus Turkey is live soon. Buongiorno, or Buongiorno, not Buongiorno. Cambiasso Calafiori live. So is Semi. You and Semi, mate. Like Van Gogh. I'll let you two have that conversation in the comments. You and Semi just love him. Calafiori, I expect to be at Juve. I'm going to come to Buongiorno in a minute. Cambiasso signing a new contract at Juve. I want to talk about a manager that was in charge at Spurs at some point last season in Antonio Conte. He is becoming the Napoli manager. Now, Napoli have a bit of a war chest to spend this summer, obviously in part with Osimhen leaving. So I saw from Paul O'Keefe that Spurs want 25 million for Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg. Now, I've sat here and kind of gone, I'm taking 15 million. I'm taking 15 million. I'm running to the bank. Shots on me. All right. So hold on to that, because from Football Italia and different sources in Italy, Antonio Conte wants to reunite with Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg at Napoli. So look, I'm just saying, when managers have had former players in the past, if they like him enough, they're going to come back in for him. And Hojbjerg was a Conte guy. Let's be frank. He would have probably rather dropped Bentancur over Hojbjerg for a long time, which, but by the looks of it, they'll be interested there. Look, we're not getting 25 million for Pierre Hojbjerg. We're not getting 25 million for Emerson. But I think people kind of overreact a little bit to some of those figures because I think they kind of listen to that and go, "What we doing? Oh, we always do this." Da, 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 da. Yeah, but we're not going to go. We just want 50 million for Hojbjerg because the team's going to come in and go, "Oh, okay. How does 8 million sound?" You always set it a bit higher. You reach the 15, bosh, smashing. So, well, let's have a look. What would be your dream transfers? Dream or realistic, Teddy? Dream or realistic? You tell me first, and then I'll answer. What about Chancellor Chiesa? Would that be a good option for us? Look, Chiesa's got 1 year left on his contract. It looks like the contract talks maybe have stalled a little bit. I wouldn't say no, but the deal's got to be, relatively worth it. If it's going to be a deal that's 50 plus, I'm probably not going to be jumping at joy for that, especially with 1 year left his contract for a guy whose stats have been a bit iffy and injuries have kind of plagued him a little bit. Honestly, Ange needs to pick up the phone and start convincing players. That's what got us Dragusin and Burvo. Kyrie, man, I just think we got to get some deals in place at some point for then Ange to have a chance. I mean, Ange can hit me on the phone and I'll go, Ange, mate, you don't need to do this. I'll be at Seven Sisters Tube Station, all right, tomorrow. Come get me, all right. Sold. Done. Yeah, it was easier. What about Kadioglu? If we get someone from the Turkish, I'd rather have him. There's been some links, but I don't know what's going on with it. With Mourinho going to Turkey, I don't know what's going on with the whole situation. Currently watching England, Scotland. MVR, what's the score? Let me know. Just dream chances, but with links. Oh, well, they're not. It's not dream chances, then, is it? No, I'm joking, Teddy. Openda. I've always said that. I want Openda. I mean, Chiesa would be nice, I guess. No, but Openda. Maybe Nico Williams, just thinking about it. He wouldn't be a dream transfer, it'd be a good transfer. I like a Calafiori, but that's not going to happen. I'll go with those three for now. How about that? Who's most likely to be our striker? Jens Zimmer. I'm going to say Richarlison right now because I just haven't got a Scooby. Haven't got a clue. Marshall and Van Gogh just going at it in a good way. All right. Just saw he went live. What did I miss? Regal, mate, you missed loads. 17 minutes in, mate. No, I was talking about Conor Gallagher. He's got quotes out saying that he wants to rebuild Chelsea with a new manager. I talked about Eze just really quickly with Matthias Sully being linked to Palace. It's all on my phone. I don't know why I'm trying to guess. I talked about the Spurs are looking at defensive midfielder and wide forward. I talked about some quotes from the Millwall manager on Japhet Tanganga, and I've just talked about Pierre Hojbjerg and Napoli being links. Cheers from across the pond. Bobby, mate, you got to tell me where you are. If you're across the pond, there's a pond in the garden. You can't be out there. We got to have words if you are. Are you related? MPR. Are you related? Right. Marshall, hopefully, yeah. Okay. 72 for naught. Oh, it's 10 over game. Crikey. That's going to be bonkers. Martin, how are we, mate? Martin, how are we? South Florida. Nice, Bobby. It's probably much better weather than I'm looking at right now outside. Since Gallagher's held talks with Aston Villa, I'd bet my money he'll go there. Well, you never know. Sometimes you like to be closer to home. That's all I'm going to say. Right. What else have I got for you? Right. I want to talk about the story that came out from Sevilla. So the Tottenham Hotspur are now showing a genuine interest in trying to sign Sevilla striker Youssef El-Nesri ahead of the summer transfer window. Sevilla demanding in the region of 30 million euros for El-Nesri's signature. Demand what you like, mate. I wouldn't want to pay that. You know what I'm like? I'm pretty fair. I like to be a bit diplomatic about chances. Give you a few different avenues. This is an avenue. I'm giving you one. No. Just no. I mean, when I was looking at El-Nesri, and I'm going to bring up some stats and figures and things like that so I can at least give you. He's 27. He's 20. Oh, he turned 27 3 days ago. Well, happy birthday, mate. Hope it was a good one. 41 games played, 20 goals, 3 assists across the La Liga, Champions League, UEFA Super Cup, and Copa del Rey. The way I look at it, it goes, he's got 1 and 2 basically this season, goal contributions wise and everything, right? You could just go get Solanke, who's younger, who did it in our league. So, that's the way I'm going to finish on that one. I mean, I don't know how many years of contracts do you have left? Hang on. Expires in a year. That would be a budget signing. I'm going to skip on that one. All right. Ugh. No thanks. I'm gonna skip on that one. I know the chat's going to be a little bit wild on this one. Wenger out. Good lord, I've not seen that in a long time, Mister P, Mister M. Sorry. Gallagher, he's just looked at who's at Tots in the Ultimate Team. Rather get a striker than Gallagher, mate. Yeah, I'm with you, Martin. That's not mean, Regal. It's banter. It's fine. Feels like with genuine interest in every striker out there. We've got a lot of guys on that striker list, mate. We really do. Help the man out, like the video. Cheers, Kalu, mate. Cheers. He says Kois 3 times. You know what that means, all right? That's my guy. Kalioglu is the worst Tots, Regal, mate. That's what MVR just said to you. What happens to the Harry Kane money? Your guess is as good as mine half the time. What do you think of Mourinho's comment? Well, Mourinho is a guy that just he says what he thinks, and in today's football, it's something that I think is sometimes missing. He's complimented us. He's also slagged us off. He's done it to every club he's been at. I don't really take it seriously, mate. I like that. I hated Arsenal before I even knew Tottenham. Hey, tell you what, Teddy, that's got deeper meaning than half of the Spurs fans. Has Kulu been linked with Napoli? Listen. Give me 5. I'll be there in 5 because you're trying to jump the gun on that because I've got some stuff. Thoughts on the Spurs MSB capital investment? Although Spurs came out and denied it, we know we're wanting investors, and with them being multi-ownership company, how might that work? I would probably say in terms of how that would work, we'd be the top of their investor list in terms of like the big club down. Look, they want up to 40%. 40% is we're not talking millions, okay? I'd say let's just wait and see. I don't think Spurs are going to do that sort of investment. I think they'd take like a 10-15%. I think that's where they're more likely to reside, okay? God, you're hating Dombele, Kyrie, crikey. 200k a week. So far, the club has spent 140 million on bloody leech. Oh, that must be right. 200 grand a week must be nice. Cool. Isn't Troy Parrott getting similar numbers to Jimenez in the Eredivisie? He's just under. I think it's by about 6 goals. So really good season for Troy. It really is. Just kidding. You're not Regal, mate, are you? You're not. I'm just joking, mate. Our scouts' fault for missing obvious attitude issues. Can't make a guy like that your record signing. That's a fair shout, Kulu. I miss Chimbonda. I still miss the fact that Chimbonda used to wear 1 pair of gloves at all times all the season. And when it got to the winter, he used to wear sometimes 2 pairs of gloves. That's my guy. Decky isn't going anywhere. Well, let me come to that in a minute. Tuesday evening gym chat. Good Lord. Are you pro multi-club ownership and pro Levy? Look, I am pro being a club that wants to win things. How about that? If something doesn't align with that, I probably wouldn't align with that either. 200k a year would be nice. 200k a week is damn good. Hey man, love the content. It's my guy Silver Fred. How are you, mate? Bale getting an icon card next year. He's talking about EAFC or FIFA, if people don't know that. He is getting one. And I will play Ultimate Team alone just to make sure I get that card. Chimbonda is such a good name. Pascal Chimbonda is one of the elite names in football, all right? I want Eze, Paulinho, and Garassi thoughts. Garassi, I think, is going to be ending up at Dortmund. Last time I checked. Eze, yes. Paulinho is probably just a little bit too old for what Spurs are looking at. Paulinho was probably 27, fine, but he's 29, so I think that's probably a little bit past what they're looking at. Would we be able to give Troy a chance? If we give him another loan to a better side and he puts up the same numbers, it could be worth it, in my opinion. I hope he gets another chance. Yeah, I hope he gets another chance just to show what he's got, even in pre-season for a few games. Doesn't mean he will, but I think he deserves a chance. That's fair enough. We've got a lot of pre-season games this year, a lot. So I think we'll see a lot of the under-21s play as well. And if he doesn't work out and you just want to cash in on him, go and cash in on him. You know what I mean? I don't think that's a bad idea. I would say Going cash in on him is a good thing. Helps us for our transfer kitty, you know. You've been playing any Ultimate Team recently? Mate, honestly, I was playing some career mode for the channel and I just, the gameplay is terrible and I wasn't enjoying it. So I kind of just paused for a bit. Great show. Cheers, Mr. M. I think we have enough firepower to at least win the League Cup next season. Top 4 has to be a must. Top 4, I would say, has to be a must next season and a good European run. We've got to be taking that Europa League seriously. We really do. First time tuning in, already hit the like. Table talk, mate. That's my guy. That's my guy. Think Spurs will be cooking with Leipzig players. Werner signing has to have a deeper meaning because there would be other options. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Sesko, Openda. I mean, Xavi Simons, I don't think he's going to be at PSG next year. I think he's going to be going out on loan, which Spurs could be the vibe. Spurs can be the vibe on that. Eze, Jimenez, Edison is my choice. I do have doubts on Jimenez, but I think he can come out good. Honestly, give me 1 and 3, and we'll have a chat about number 2 on that front. When do you think we will see Lancashire, Soonset Bell? We'll see him in pre-season. They'll get time in pre-season for sure. Spurs should consider focusing on a cup competition. I think Europa League will be that sort of chat. Always go live when you're at work. Well, stop working so much, Regal. God. I'm just joking, mate. Just joking. Got to work hard sometimes. JJ Okocha was a great football name. Absolutely. Right. Anyway, let's talk about some other stuff because I've got distracted with just different good football names. Gabriel Heinzer, that's another one. I want to talk about Gio. So I did a video earlier talking about Gio, and he has interest from a couple of clubs, one of which I'm about to talk about. Another one was Galatasaray. So from, where's this from? Estadio Deportivo out in Spain. It said that Giovani Lo Celso has rejected a move to Saudi Arabia. Real Betis are interested in bringing the player back to the club, with the player also keen on the move. Betis finds Spurs' demands of around 20 million euros to be excessive, but believe they can find an agreement to his contract situation. Well, 20 million euros is like 17 million pounds. I just think 15 million pounds is about right. I'm not going to overdo it. And if they can't afford it, then he's not going back. We can't just try and help every single club out. You know, it's not going to work. I mean, would they charge us how much to get him in the first place? Let's go from there, shall we? So, yeah, there's a little bit on Gio. I'm not going to spend long on that because we still got to talk about Mr. Dejan Kulusevski. I'm just clearing off all these tabs. There's so much to talk about. There was so many tabs open. They were all like about 2 centimeters wide. There was so much to talk about. Right. I've still got loads to talk about, guys. So I hope you are kicking back and relaxing on this front. I'm done on that as well. Right. Yeah, I've got a couple of stories still to talk about. Hang on, let me look at your comments. Gracia won solid year in his entire career. He's the same age and less goals than Werner. Yes, but his last season was electric. And for £17.5 million on his release clause, it's not a bad punt. You're my first time watching too. I've liked and I've subbed. Mr. M, that's my guy. That's my guy. Simmons would probably want a UCL team to go on loan. Yeah, but yeah, fair enough, Kyrie. I don't blame him for that, to be fair. Well, I'm not saying that last name, but yeah, Danny's a shout. Nice to see you, Joe. Look, mate, you're right. We need a stable squad plus depth to risk giving academy players a chance, and I reckon Tyrese Hall will be the first breakthrough. So not Mikey Moore. You think Tyrese Hall? That's an interesting one. I thought Mikey Moore would be the first guy, but yeah, there's some cracking names in our youth team. Any thoughts on the Isaac talk? I'm coming to it in a minute. Bobby the Greek jumping in there. Young Vengor of Hesselink. Yeah, we're getting there. Sell Decky, get at least 40 to 50 million. Get someone in who's suitable for our team, like an Elise. Just saying. Elise should be going to Chelsea, I believe. Hayden Hack needs to be Spurs signing as a priority. Interesting. For goodness sake. Jimenez, just straight in there. Jimenez. What of Ricardo? Nice to see Spurs going for him. Daniel Ricardo? Who do you mean by Ricardo? Do you mean Calafiore? Do you mean Daniel Ricardo? Because I like Danny Ricardo in the F1. Eze is currently at Hotspur Way. He's not being held hostage, CDC. Daniel Levy's going, come here. You're not leaving. Sign that. You're not leaving. And Ange just sitting in the corner going, mate, just on repeat at him. Like a form of torture. Eze, England chased 109 in 10 overs. That's going to be dodgy. Keep me up to date, MVR. Do you think Werner can get back to his ability at Leipzig? I'm not sure if it's confidence. I just think it's a little bit of both rustiness and confidence. Yeah, I'd probably say so. Jimenez, Silva, just straight in there. Is that what you meant? I'm not so sure. James, mate, appreciate that. That's a lovely comment, mate. Lovely comment. Makes my day. My FM24 says that we should get Hugo Larsson, Junior Kruipke, sorry, and the son of Van Persie. Teddy, mate, you're too far in your save, mate. You are too far in your save. And Dombe's cost us more than 120 million. That money could have bought an Isaac. What a waste. You said it. Just saying, mate, and repeat in the corner. He honestly, Van Gogh, it's like a form of torture. You know, it's a form of torture. First time seeing stream subbed and like, great job. Tot Spurs. Love that, mate. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Big up everyone. Big up Terry. Don't just big up everyone, mate. Big up Terry as well. Everyone put big up Terry in the comments. I want to see it because that's a lovely comment from Terry. Aston Villa currently are having talks with Chelsea over Gallagher. Aston Villa might have some FFP concerns, so that might be something they're trying to sort past July 1st, if you know what I mean. So still a few weeks left. There's plenty to go in this whole story. Is there any chance there'll be Eurovids? Martin, what do you mean Eurovids? Let me know and I'll answer. One of my saves is 2050, but the list of players that I dropped are currently around 17. Teddy, mate, you're in 2050 of FM. Jesus wept, man. Jesus wept. Big up Terry, absolutely. Big up Terry. Right. Why do we keep buying 50 million waste of time? And Ndombele, Johnson, Richie, Werner, extortionate wages. Richie is a solid player. Johnson, I think, let's just see what we get this season. They always plan for this season coming to be the season that he was going to be rocking and rolling. And big up Terry. That's it, table talk. Always big up Terry. We love a bit of Terry in this chat. Right. Anyway, let's talk about this Alexander Isak one. I kind of want to just get in and get out, if you know what I mean, in this one. That sounds like me in the supermarkets, get in and get out. Yeah, then I go past the bakery and it's like, oh, I'm not getting in and out. Am I? There's an admiration for Alexander Isak among many at Spurs, but it would not be cheap or an easy deal to pull off. Oh, no, I mean, we're technically a league position rival of Newcastle. He's going to cost way above £100 million. Not going to happen. I'm just going to say it now, lads. I know it might be a little bit depressing. It's just not going to happen because it's just going to cost a fortune. And there's no way Newcastle are going to deal to us, you know. Just news about injuries coupled with Spurs is, what I might do is I might keep everyone up to date about how our players are out doing at the Euros, but I'll still be doing like transfers and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So don't worry, I won't stop just because the Euros are on. I may not post when there's a meaningful game on because I'll probably be watching it, but I'll definitely still be doing videos, mate. Don't you worry. Johnson being bad as a myth, 15 goal contributions and his second ever Premier League season. He's just 22. Just give him time, mate. Just give him time. Let's just see what we have next season. Whether you like him or not, let's just see what we have. You don't have to like him. You don't have to love him. You don't have to hate him. You don't have to loathe him. Let's just see what we got. Let's have a look. Big up Ivan Goff and Table Talk. Yeah, Terry, mate. Legend. Absolute legend. Let me tell you where I get in and out. Shut your mouth. God's sake. I think Johnson is underrated. Definitely won us a few games this season with the last minute assist and goals. And also, some of the celebrations were cold. So I'll give you that. Do you randomly watch highlights of ballers in Scouting Channel all the time? I don't often. My knowledge is pretty decent, to be honest, in the first place. And I watch enough football anyway. But I sometimes do get sort of shouted out a player to kind of have a look at. And then I'll go off and do my own research. I was a bit puzzled what happened with Noosa. Can you explain what happened there and what his move will be? So he failed a medical at Brentford. He chose Brentford over Spurs because he saw Brentford as a team that he's going to play more frequently at for his own development. He is 18 after all. He failed his medical. I believe it was either a back issue or was a knee issue. Supposedly both not really an issue anymore, but that was the situation. And so far, it's just gone quiet. There's been nothing really going on there. Johnson's underrated in my opinion. I think he has the most assists coming off the bench. Johnson's more assists than a lot of good players. So we'll sort of see how we go from there. All right. I think it'll be good for us next season. I hope so. I do. I hope all our players are going to be good for us next season. I'm on the bench next season. All right. I'll be your Fraser Forster. I'll be holding up a sign going, "Go Spurs, go!" Just for vibes. Johnson is also in the top 5 for most chances missed. He's young. He's young, dude. He's young, all right? Was it a rotator cuff day at the gym or rather a sternocleidomastoid focus? Ollie, mate, fair play. Fair play. It was chest day, all right? How about that? Bro, did you say Grassi is a no-go? Grassi's in talks to go to Dortmund. That's kind of the vibe at the moment. And I think he's still on the AC Milan list, if I can remember correctly. By the way, Shershi Guns. Oh, Marshall. Think back to your Turkish players instead. I like Brennan. He's a talented lad. Hopefully next season will be a breakout season for him. Absolutely, Terry. Please get Eze. Just simple as that, YouTube stories. Please get Eze, and I'm for it. And if Paulinho's too old, then what DM will we go for? I just think there's a lot of DMs on that list. We'll sort of see how we go. I think, look, Anana's on the list, Fofana's on the list, Vifla's on the list. Edison will probably still be on the list. I don't know how high he'll be now, but if I had to pick one, I'd love Edison. I think Anana physically is something that you don't really see in the Premier League, that sort of dominant physical specimen. But obviously could be one of the more expensive options. I think Fofana is sort of that middle ground between, good and reasonable price. So maybe a Fofana is the shout, plus 1 year left on his contract. What's your feeling on Bergval's potential next season? Will he make the first team? He will be in and around the first team next season for sure, James. Yeah, that's what that was the whole idea of getting him over. Sorry, that was the idea of him coming Spurs instead of Barca, was that he was going to be in around the first team. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to him, mate. I'm really excited for Bergval. I think it's going to be fantastic. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Mr. M. Medicine. I don't need that. But no, you, Van Gogh and Terry, yeah, Edison I'd love. Sun's out, guns out. Well, sun's not out, so no guns are out. I don't really get why everybody is about Tony. If Solanke's also proven has also more scores. People use the idea that Solanke's only done it for this season. That's why they go for Tony. But Tony's not really done it much more than Solanke has. And Solanke's done it more recently. So, it's more about what you prefer, I guess. Get Eze, Tony, Edison, and a fullback. We're going to need more than that, YouTube stories. But I tell you what, that's not a bad little list. Doherty from Luton is a great cheap buy. Had a brilliant season. Yeah, he was good at left back, and I think he'd suit what we ask from Adogi as well. And with the fact we're playing in 4 competitions next season, it's a shout. I don't know what they want to do because I need to come to Buongiorno in a minute. I promise. But yeah, there is that. Eze, yes, please. Game changer. Terry knows. Bergval pulled out of Sweden under 21s injured, as Lynch says. Yeah. Dream signing and dream realistic signing. Dream signing. Harry Kane. No, but dream realistic signing, Eze. Is there any news regarding French talents Ryan Cherky? Cherky, not as much at the moment. Doué, yeah, we are interested in Desiree Doué. Not sure where that is at the moment. Bergval soon be on the first team sheet. There's Mike, Mr. Mike Naylor. How are we, Mike? You all right? Do you think Maddison will be cut from the Euro squad? Honestly, CDC, it's ropey at the moment. It is. The way Wharton's playing, the way, Eze's come in and played, Palmer and all that. It's a difficult one. But ask me that after the next game. How about we'll do another live after the next game. Get rid of Spence, Solomon, Davies, Skip, Hojbjerg. Well, we will be moving off Spence. Solomon, we'll see. Hojbjerg, yes. Skip wants first team football, so maybe. And Davies is a maybe. Spence playing in the charity match. I don't know if it actually was Spence at the end. I don't really know. Bergval, I believe, will get lots of minutes next season. Let's not jinx it though. Yeah. English football is not easy. But then get the EFL Cup, the FA Cup, the Europa League. Hopefully, with a sporadic 10, 15 minutes start off in the Premier League, you'll see, the Bergvals, the Donleys, the Mikey Moores, the Tyrese Halls getting your odd minutes here and there. I really think Sarr's going to smash it next season. And I'd love it if Sarr takes another jump. I would love it. Yeah, Hill will go for sure. Every time I watch Fulham's, Robinson has always caught my eye at right back. Ollie, mate, he's a left back. He's a left back of Robinson. I know what you're talking about. And I don't know if he's Spurs' type. Sounds like Love Island, but you know what I mean. As in Solanke, yeah, of course. More evening, Polly. How are you? Hope you're all right. I think it'd be great if we could get good Truder for defense, Gray for the future, Edison in midfield, Eze front, him and a striker, and Doué. Teddy, mate, you're threatening us all there with a good time. All right. Solomon is a good question. Do you all think he'll be moved this summer? Terry, I think he will be. I really do. Any Roden news? Not at the moment. But then again, his season's only recently just finished, unlike, other players. So not yet, but he will move. Cash and Son, he's only going to start deteriorating. It is too early. I think Brian Hill has potential. Maybe move his position to goalkeeper. Oh, Jesus wept. Emerson, not good enough for the Sidemen charity match. Forget Spurs. I'd be good enough for the Sidemen charity match, but they wouldn't have me. But no, Emerson will get moved. I watched Sudakov last night against Germany. He did pretty good, created so many chances. And yeah, I'm just worried because obviously Mudryk didn't come into the Chelsea team and kill it. So I'm a bit nervous about that. Would you rather Tony Elise? I'd go Elise Akram. What do you think about Pedro Goncalves? Pedro G Fuel. My FIFA players would know that one. Good player. Good player. Interested on price on that front, though. Yes, Manchester City are suing the Premier League over their financial fair play. I don't know enough about it, but I did quickly read before I jumped on. So we'll have to see on that one, Terry. No doubt there'll be more that coming out of that. Reguilon. Yeah, Reguilon will be gone. He'll be gone. Just love your enthusiasm for Eze. Give Johnson a chance. He's getting better by the match. Yeah, Martin, mate. You and me are the biggest Eze guys in this chat. We know that. I'd love to give our academy players a chance, but if we're facing a Fulham, I don't want what happened in the Carabao Cup to happen to us again, especially in the Europa League. Well, the idea is to build 2 players of quality in each position, and then from there, having youth to back that up. That's the way I look at it. So hopefully, Mikey Moore or those sort of players getting half an hour, 45 minutes, things like that. If we are playing well, we are winning by many, Terry, isn't it supposed to be the opposite way? Yeah, we should be. I found a Gil the Goat fan account today. It's sensational. Teddy, mate, you FM and Twitter is a combo. Does Son still fit into this younger squad? Son, we still need to have some age in the squad. We can't have too many young people, Mike. But I do think with him, with the amount of travel for international football, injuries, I think it just wore on him a little bit. Hopefully next season, with a bit more depth around him, a little bit less pressure on him to deliver, we're good. Do you think Jose and Conte? Jose said he's not interested in going for players at Roma. Will we go for Spurs? I don't know. Conte, I talked about Hojbjerg being interested. Napoli being interested in Hojbjerg, but us wanting 25 million. But knowing Napoli have a lot of money to spend, we'll see. Top 3 realistic transfer targets for number 6. You've got Fofana, you've got Onana, Vifla, Ederson. They're the main 4, I would say, at the moment. Well, they're the main 4. It doesn't mean they're the only 4. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean they're 1 to 4 or below, When is Ndombele's contract over? Another year, James. Got another year. We have a serious homegrown problem. It will get fixed this summer. I'm not worried about homegrown. Raining in the cricket. Of course it is. Of course it is. Got a large number to chase. Yeah, it's raining in the cricket. Wouldn't mind Luka Modric. Luka, I think, is got another year. I think he's extended for another year at Madrid. Turkish League is not exciting prospect. It is the dirt in the UEFA rankings. Cool. Scolding. Where does Decky fit in the squad next season? I'm coming to it now. Haven't seen much of Fofana. Is he any good? Yeah, he's decent. He's a player at Monaco. Check him out. Right, let me talk about Decky. I was trying to talk about him for ages. So they talked to Decky around this Napoli interest that he has. And they asked if he's staying at Spurs. And he said, yes, I think so. But he's linked with Napoli. He's been linked with Napoli for a little while now. And with Conte now signing to be the Napoli manager, this isn't going away. But he said, I don't know anything about those rumors. I have heard that Conte's going there. It'll be fun to see him there, to see him back in football. And then, yeah, he's talking about the season. I'm not going to go into this. It's not really too relevant. But look, if they want him, they're going to be paying good money for him because it's not going to be one of those £25 million deals because of FFP and things like that. One of you said about Aston Villa and Conor Gallagher, and I'm going to have to come back to that because you were bloody right. Going live, and it happens when I'm live, the cheek of it. But, it'd be one of those that's going to cost 40 odd million because he's just not going to be cheap, is he, So there is that on Decky. Right. Let's have a look. I wanted to find... I've completely lost my Buongiorno information. Let's see if I can still find it. I might have deleted it. No, I haven't. I tell a lie. I was about to leave you with I have and I haven't. I've missed some comments here. Hang on. I think if Decky's going to be gone, it's going to cost a lot of money. That's all I'm going to say. Haven't seen much. Yeah, I've done that one. Should Delhi give another chance? CDC, nostalgia says yes. My heart says yes. My head says absolutely not. Sofian, how are we, mate? Are you all right? Having a good evening? Do you think there'll be a winger over Decky and Johnson? We're still interested in wingers, Teddy. Yeah, we are. We are still interested in wingers. What do you make of the El Nesri link to Spurs? I talked about him earlier, and I was quite quick with it, and I said I'm not interested. That's what I meant of that. Why is nobody talking about the fact we need a second choice goalkeeper? I think they're going to rock with Austin for next season as second choice. That's what I think they're going to do, and I think we'll see in the preseason what we have in those backup goalkeepers. So does Gallagher go into Villa mean we're definitely getting Eze? Hold off. I'll answer all this Gallagher Villa thing in a second. Don't worry, lads. I'll get there in a second. El Nesri Spurs, yes or no? No. How about that? I will do a poll though, because I've only just worked these out. Right. I'm just going to put Gallagher. I'm going to put yes, and I'm going to put yes and no. All right. It's in there. I want you guys to tell me what you think about that poll. All right. And I'm going to then answer Gallagher in a second. But what we have a look at here. Do you think there is going to be any surprise moves in and out of the club? Surprise out? Probably not, to be honest, because I've talked about 15 players. Ins, there will be. Spurs always get one or two that are a bit out of the blue. Should Ashley Phillips be given a chance? I think Ashley Phillips might get a chance in the preseason, but I could see him going out on loan to a really good championship side. Maybe even Leeds if they don't end up getting Joe Rodon again, could be a shout. Should Eze start with Maddison if we sign him and another striker? I think Eze starts with Maddison. How about that? Game changing. Instant no. Teddy is firing. No. Do Eze. No. Mister. I'll be there in a second with maybe that poll. Good Lord. Gallagher, solid performer. Yeah, he's solid. Very solid. I'll come back to the poll in a second. Let me tell you what this article was, okay? So you have a bit of an idea. I've just lost it. That's always... I've just found some information on Eze. Right, really quickly. Eze apparently has a release clause. And I just saw someone tweet back, yeah, let's move on. Eze, Levy doesn't know what a release clause is. Well, Oh, okay. There's more. There's loads coming out this evening. This is why I went live, because there's so much to talk about. I can't believe how much there is to talk about. But Ornstein is firing this evening. So Aston Villa hold preliminary talks with Chelsea over move for Conor Gallagher. Villa are also in contact with their 24-year-olds camp. Emery's a huge admirer and emerging as top target. And Chelsea want a Villa player of sorts. I don't really care. Right, I'm ending the poll. 59% said no. Interesting. Right. Oh, here we go. I've missed some. I've missed some comments, lads. I do apologise. Put your comments back in if I've missed them. But I'm going to start with Sophie and Gallagher is an 8. Yes, he is. If Eze starts with Maddison, would that take Bentancur's spot? Hey, rotation is beautiful. Is all I'll say, lads. Manchester United's trying to sell Marcus for 70 million. What manager with the same brain would buy him? I don't know, Marshall. Chris Cowland said that Levy is a genius for building a hotel and associated infrastructure outside the stadium because it will secure Tottenham's future financially for the next 100 years. Didn't see that. I don't often watch other Spurs channels, if I'm honest. The stadium itself is the game changer. It's nice having those things. I won't lie. It's nice having those things, but also, could do with some success. That also helps. 80 people watching. This is mad. 80 people watching. So thank you all that has joined me this evening. Eze of Maddison, mouth-watering. Yes, Martin. Eze is at Hotspur Way with England squad. Yeah, and I've told you, Lynch, he's locked in a room with Ange, just saying mate him for hours until he signs. I'd rather Eze over Gallagher. Fair enough. Will Maddison lose his job because of Bergval? No, James. No on Gallagher. Tottenham players did seem really pally with Eze when we played them, and he even his family were invited to Tottenham box. I think it's a done deal. Mike, I love your confidence. I'm not sure it's a done deal, though, but I wish it was. I think that Eze is going to be mostly a winger. I think Eze will play in a few different positions for Spurs, because I watched him yesterday and he started on the left, but hell, he never finished on the bloody left, did he? I don't think we need I don't think we have a need for an 8. We have a monster 6 and backup 10, unless Burval feels Burval will be like an 8-10 sort of vibe. Yeah, Burval's played over the season. Centre back, 6, 8, 10, striker, winger. He played in the park up the road as well against me. I spent 90 minutes running around after him, and I was nearly dead afterwards. Can Eze play CM? Eze, not as like a defensive CM, but if like a box to box, yeah, maybe. But he's a bit like Madders in that regard. We can play a 2-cam formation and a 6 of pivot as long as our fluidity in the attack stops us giving the ball away willy-nilly and counterattacks in that regard. Will this be a summer we really spend like we don't have Daniel Levy? Well, we do have Daniel Levy. I need to watch the Switzerland match with these rumours at the same time. It's a good little combo. My dream 3 would be Maddison, Gallagher, and Barella. Barella, crikey, that's bonkers. Oh, better without Kane. We should have kept him. We are not better without Kane, and that's another story. I feel bad for Burval's last game it was a heavy defeat. Yeah. But you know what? These things happen in football. The losses you take more from than you do the wins. Right, last little bit of chatter. I just had it. It was quite damning, actually. I've just lost it. Bear with me a second, lads. I'll be with you in a second on it. Twitter's going mad with the whole Gallagher thing. Yeah, right. Well, basically, look, I can't find it. I'm not going to sit here and try and find it because I'll be here hours. Twitter is mental tonight. Look, it was basically surrounding how with players that Spurs want to move on, they're not as keen to move on. That was kind of the report I saw. I think it was from Ornstein. I think. Don't hold me to that. So there is that, which is a bit annoying. I won't lie. It is annoying. Smith Rowe could be available. He's more than welcome to go and play for the local team. Not interested in him. England, Scotland been cancelled due to the rain. That seems likely to be honest. It's been shrunk to 10 overs. I'm not surprised. Is Eze's more in Sar's position? No, Eze would be more your left winger or cam sort of thing. Chelsea were never going to sell Gallagher to us anyway. I think Chelsea will take the highest offer. I don't think they're going to care. I think they just want the highest offer and make the most out of it. That's all I would say on that. I look like Chris Pratt, the actor. I have had that so many times, Terry. I look like Chris Pratt. I do. I have had that multiple times. Probably the worst version of Chris Pratt, but I do look a little bit like him. Yeah. I used to look a little bit like Juan Mata as well back in the day. So that one for you as well. But yeah, I think there's quite a bit to talk about in their regards. Someone wanted me to do this poll. Let me just do this poll quickly, just because before people kill me for this. It's Eze or Gallagher. I forgot to do it. I will do it now. Otherwise, there will be a riot, and I know what will happen. Right. The poll should be up. Tell me what you think. 90 million for Gallagher. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Chelsea would be very thrilled. They'd be very thrilled with 90 million, wouldn't they? Chris Pratt with a flex. That would probably, I'd be the maybe buffer version. Now, you look better than Pratt. Buff Pratt. Maybe I'm just a Pratt. How about that? Maybe I am just a Pratt. I'll be a stunt double next, won't I? If anyone votes Gallagher, get your head checked. Here we go. I knew this would be a bit right. For Richard Romano just tweeted that Tottenham have accepted £50 million offer for a Saudi club for a Charleston. I'll double check that, John, in a second. Don't even do it. It's Eze's anyway. I had to. There'd be a riot. I would want both. Greedy, but I get it. Eze all day. Eze is not going to do what Gallagher is going to do. Not the first time he's been called a Pratt. Yeah, thanks for that. You look more like Ledley King. I look more like Ledley King. He's a gorgeous man, so I'll take that. But if one Eze, yeah, fair enough. So better than Gallagher in a year easily, but we do need to, have that rotation. Fab tweeted the quote from Gallagher saying he's happy at Chelsea and excited about Maresca with a handshake emoji. I think he got a new contract. If Chelsea want to screw themselves over financial fair play even more, go for it. If we get Eze, would we set up like Crystal Palace? I like how they set up with Elise and Eze, just replacing Elise with Madders. I think Elise will float between left wing, maybe Cam, maybe an 8 in a different world, and maybe a right winger if we did go for him. But you want to see him playing with Madders and Son. So yeah. Do I have an OnlyFans account? Lovely, Luke. Thanks for that. Right. I'm going to end. I don't even need to end that poll. I know 37 votes, 92% said Eze. that might somewhat be conclusive. Right, I need to check what John said about Fabrizio, because he said we might have accepted a deal. And if he's lied to me, you've wasted my time, John. John, the last thing you put out was that Madrid are working on Alphonso Davies. So I'm not sure where you've seen it, but I can't see it. Tosin Adarabioyo is off to Chelsea. I've just seen that. Eberechi is at Hotspur Way. I've just seen someone put it out there. Right, yeah. He's at Hotspur Way. He plays for England. Like, it's just not that big a deal, guys. All right. What is a big deal is that he's locked in the broom cupboard with Daniel Levy, forcing a pen and piece of paper at him to sign a contract, and Ange's in the corner with a thumbs up going, mate, on repeat until he signs. I would love Scamacca at Spurs. I do think he's a going player. Scamacca's decent. He is. I think West Ham was a difficult time from him, if I'm honest, but I don't think many strikers have done well. Close ball. Yeah, mate, it was so close. Why did I even bother, you know? God. I really hope Richarlison gets a chance. Look, I think he'll be decent. I think he'll be decent with some fitness, hopefully. How about that? Thanks for doing this live stream. Your last live stream was 4 a.m. UK, New York time. Do you know what, Ilmatic? I actually Googled East Coast time of what time did I actually Google it? I think it was about 2 p.m., which is about 7 a.m. your time, I think it is. That's what I Googled, and I thought, throw it in there. Mr. M recount. Yeah. It was close. It was close. I won't lie. Naughty John. I know, right? John. God. Fabrizio Romano lost my respect. Fabrizio didn't put anything out. I don't know. Pedri's a world-class version of Gallagher. Pedri is a brother that needs about a year off from football because he's just tired. If we play Isaiah and Madison together, then we need a Palion. We would need someone like, you know, unit-wise in CDM. Milton, how are we, mate? It's obviously early doors. I knew... Oh, you've commented against 5M. Mate, Milton, mate. Shout out Milton. Starts work at 3:30 in the morning. Done at about midday, 12:30 sort of thing. Works hard. Shout out Milton. The chat will love you, Milton, all right? Would Delhi ever come back? Delhi would, but I don't think we would get Delhi. Little cupboard threesome. Good Lord. News I've just seen is Eze chicking on wings and chips meal. Hey, sounds good. Sounds good. 5M Australia. What do you think of Archie Gray? I like Archie Gray, and as a player that can play right back as well as centre mid, you have the ability with the fact that Pedro Porro plays right back and centre mid, so I don't mind it. Maybe a look at Fatty would be great. Fatty was rubbish at Brighton. I'm glad we didn't sign him, is all I'd say. I was keen on it at first, but now I'm glad we didn't. 7 a.m. here. CDC, where are you? Tell me where you are. 7 a.m. wise, where are you? Eze on the ball is class, but off the ball, he's awful. Well, in the Ange system, you don't get to be awful off the ball. They said Ange would never play two attacking fullbacks together. Do you doubt he would play Madison together? He's a madman. He's a madman. He's a vibes man, and I'm all for those vibes. What's your thoughts on Rafinha? Rafinha's a really solid player. He's a really solid player. Darn, that's not a pint, all right, before anyone complains about it. He's a really solid player. Expensive, though. He's on 200 grand a week. You know, the deal's going to cost 40, 50 million. You know, Eze. New Zealand, nice CDC, mate. Nice. Got some Aussies, got some New Zealanders, got some Canadians, got some South Floridas. Tuesday pints, bloody heck, lad. It's summer fruit squash. You know the rules. Summer fruit squash is my jam. The answer for most of your questions, by the way, if you compare this guy to this guy, Eze. I haven't seen the news with Chiesa. Chiesa's not going to. It looks like he might not be signing a contract at Juve. Therefore, he's open to potentially a move. That's why. Pedri has eye bags and wrinkles for a 21. I believe pretty much the same thing will happen to Yamal. Pedri's he played like 81 games in one season. The brother just needs a year off. He's just dying. London town, Cole. There we are. How are we, Cole, mate? You all right? 5 a.m. here in Sydney, Shags. Big up. Mate, Angelo, mate. Love that, Angelo. Good early doors. You going gym, Angelo, before work, or you just off to work? Switzerland, 9 p.m. Teddy, mate, it's neat time for bedtime, isn't it? Hi from North Korea. Jesus Christ. Fatty was on. It was scary money. Fatty's on something similar to what Ndombele's on per week. I wouldn't take Jadon Sancho, no. Just because money-wise, he's on like 350 grand a week. You know, he's going to cost a fortune to get out from from United as well. And I don't think he'd want to sell him. I don't think he'd want to sell Leicester anyway. So it's almost midnight here. Well, where are you, Van Gogh, mate? Tell me. Juventus want 80 million euros for Chiesa. Well, they can keep that. I don't want to do that. In the Federated States of Micronesia, I don't think that's true. Unrelated to Spurs, but most of the countries in Europe have goalkeepers that play in the top flights, while we can go as far as Everton. Just let that sink in. Again, sorry, it's not Spurs related. Oh, you mean for oh, right. You mean for the Euros. Pickford for the Pickford. I know it's not Spurs, but Pickford. What was I saying? Pickford is a decent keeper for England. I would say that. But yeah, I do get you mean. Left back's a weaker position. Left back and centre back makes me a bit nervous. But I think centre back will get better with Branthwaite and so on. But left back always makes me nervous. 12 p.m. in LA. I want to make so many jokes about, LA people getting wacky foods and putting on Instagram, but I won't. I'm on overtime. What, in your FM save, Teddy? You're on 2050, mate. You've done your overtime. It's time for retirement in that regard. If we end up Jimenez and Eze, the next season we'll all be keeping a laser focus on which players are attending matches. We will be. I'll be at the Spurs game. I'll be in the wall like this. Oh, I can see Ozzy Ardiles, but I don't think he's coming back. Lynch is in Malta. Oh, it must be nice there, mate. Must be nice. 5 a.m. in North Korea. Lights go off soon. Oh, yeah. Caucasian mate Baku. Oh, nice. All right, Spurs as well. But have you seen James Trafford's links to Liverpool and Bayern? I don't get how James Trafford and Vincent Kompany have fallen upwards, but they're doing it. But then Burnley supposedly have FFP issues, so apparently Trafford would solve a lot of those issues. That's what the vibe that I'm getting. And Trafford is a backup keeper to Alisson, maybe. Yeah, okay, maybe not too bad. Can Ange learn from Nagelsmann on how to stop a barrage of counter-attacks with that high line next season? More attacking fluid, better fluid attacking play would solve a lot of issues. Thoughts on the new kit? Swaggy, mate, how are you? Thursday night, isn't it? Thursday night's the big one for you lads, but Friday 1:30 in the morning is for us in England. If you're not sure what I'm talking about the NBA finals. It's one of those that I'm not too keen on it right now, but I think once I see it on you, I think it'll probably be better. Radu is playing for Romania right now, and then I hope Romania play well, because I love me some Dragujin. Alan's from Melbourne, Florida. Formerly in Northland. 3 p.m. here. Alan, mate, lovely. Must be nice out there. Must be nice. Yes, I did hear about Basuma getting robbed in France. Horrible, horrible stuff. I'm glad he is okay. Most importantly, I'm glad he is okay. A watch can always be replaced, but things like yourself can't be. So I'm glad he is okay. And I'm glad he's back home and safe. Horrible stuff. Ange needs 2 summer transfers to take Spurs where they belong. Yeah, I've always said Ange needs at least 4 windows, which includes the last 2, this one, January, going to the next summer and see what we've got. Rocking and rolling. What do I think of Sesko Akram? He's a baller. Sesko is a baller. That's what I think of him. Quite definitive. To be honest, to be fair, I think Trafford is pretty good. I just think he's got thrown into the Prem. Yeah, I think he'll get better. I do. I think maybe sitting behind an Alisson or a Neuer would be massive. I think he'd learn so much, and I think he'd be better for it. Yeah, I think it was like 250 grand, wasn't it, for a watch? I just think, you know what, that can be replaced. Biss can replace that, but like I said, family can't be, and he's got a young family. Man City 150 charges decision comes by winter, and if found guilty, we could be compensated alongside Arsenal. Yeah, I don't know, Marshall, what's going on there, but they are also suing the Premier League, so I think we're going to be in for choppy waters on that. You predict Company be sacked in December? Well, normally the Champions. When does the Champions League knockout start? Is it like January time or February time? I think he can get there. I don't think he can get there. I think Harry Kane will win you games. Sane. Will they keep Davies? I don't know. But I think at least last season. They seem to really love him. You do great work. It's always a good way to start my mornings from Arizona. It's 12 o'clock. Ruby, it's lunchtime. Get yourself some food in. And what are you having for lunch? I'm keen to know. I've just had dinner. So what are you having for lunch? What do you think about Kulisesi playing as a false nine against Sheffield United? I think Ange will use Kulu products. Look, I'm not as keen as on Kulu being a 10. I'm not. I've seen it a few times this season. I've not been blown away. It's something new. It's something different. It's harder for teams to then pinpoint what you're trying to do. That's how the top managers do it. And Ange definitely does. He does more than people think. He does like to experiment. So, mid-February, I assume that's for company MBR. Kimmich is going, Davies is going, De Ligt is going, and Musiala potentially. This is mostly transfers. Although De Ligt, I'll see, because De Ligt was falling out of Thomas Tuchel, but I don't know. He might stay. Davies is going. That's more of a contract. Same with Kimmich. Musiala is contract. These are all contract talks, really. That's why. Why do Spurs keep trusting Ryan Mason in a variety of roles? I feel like he hasn't done much to improve the players in any role he's had. Just my opinion, though, need a set piece specialist. Ange doesn't think we do. But no, he does know the club and things like that. And I think he's a young coach. He can improve. Any chance Harry Kane can be brought back, similar to maybe a Bale role? I've always said it was always going to be next summer. So he'd have been at Bayern for 2 years. I always thought next summer would be the summer where you might have your first opportunity. Won't be this summer, but next summer I think is your first. If you're going to have any opportunity as early as possible, it'll be next summer. Is Lookman? Do you mean from Masalansa? Potentially. I don't know if he will though, but he could be. It could be possible. But it's unlikely. Right. I'm just going to double check a few other bits before I head off because I've been talking for ages. But you guys make it so easy to talk on these, by the way. I never get off one of these. I get off like a 10-minute video and go, oh, that was a lot. I get off a 45 to an hour live stream. I feel energetic. So that's all on you guys. So thank you for joining me because you made it so much easier to talk sometimes. I don't really see anything of interest. But look, I think we're going to have a really busy day sorry, not busy day. I think we're going to have a really busy week this week. Apparently, Arsenal's focus is Sesko. I just saw that, so I don't know if that means anything to anyone. I'll tell you, one more poll. I want to put one more poll out because I'm keen on what you guys think of this. So for strikers, okay, I'm going to put a few in here. I'm going to put some good ones in here as well. So nothing we talk about normally. Is there any more that I want to talk about? No, I'm going to put those through. Let me know on that poll I've just put up. There's 3 names in there. What is your call for the transfers this window? What do you mean, Teddy? Oh, I saw your comment below. I saw that Gray comes, that Luton defender, got his name in 6. Don't know, mate, but 5 or 6 would be massive. 5 or 6 would be massive, I'd say. They said Chelsea offered Tosin in similar terms and salary as Newcastle. Tosin decided on Chelsea. Hey, yeah, Elmatic, it makes sense. I wouldn't pass on Levy if he triggers the Kane's buyback clause. I think it's more of a first refusal, if I remember correctly. Who's your favourite current Spurs player and favourite retired Spurs player? My favourite retired Spurs player, I love Robbie Keane. I do. He was always one of my favourites. My favourite current player, I love me some Destiny Udogie. I do. Lookman is brilliant. Lookman's decent. Why haven't we scored Mitoma by now? Cost, I'd say, on that front. He's going to cost an absolute fortune. Brighton are shrewd negotiators. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. Mitoma will be a good Son backup. I just don't see us spending 17 million on a backup, though. Cheers, Mr. M, mate. Take care, Terry. Have a good evening, mate. Break the bank for Isaac. That's more than a bank. That's like breaking a few banks. Why is Mitoma injured currently? He's missed a lot of games this season. I think it's a bit like Sonny. Lots of travel, lots of games played, no real rest. What did you make of England, Bosnia? First half was a snooze fest. Eze looked good. Wharton looked good. Trent might have to play. That's all I'm going to say on that front. Have you watched the Welcome to Wrexham documentary? So you like it? Pretty entertaining to see how much of a... I haven't watched it, but I've seen the clips. And you know what? Fair play. I know they play. I know they spent a lot of money. But you know what? Fair play. That's what we always want our owners to do, spend money, you know? I do get it on other teams' fronts in that league, though. I do get that. Great stream. Cheers, MBR, mate. I'd love to get Gyökeres, but he's just too expensive. Apenda's a good shout. I'd rather him than Sesko. Ooh, fair play. Fave YouTuber. Great stream. Cheers, Marfin, mate. Love that. Cheers, mate. What do you think about Coleman being available for sale? Would it be a good fit? Coleman. James, tell me who you mean by Coleman. I might be missing that. I might be a bit of an idiot. Will Ange get unknown Korean or Japanese players like he did in Celtic? I couldn't tell you, James. It's a great shout, but I couldn't tell you. I play Trent at right back, Walker at left back. I'm keeping Walker at right back. I think it'll probably be Trippier. Well, Shaw is training, apparently. So Shaw might get minutes, but I think Trips will probably be the left back. Trent probably into the midfield. I'd rather Wharton than Mano, though. Coman. Right. Does get a few injuries, but I love me some Kingsley Coman. I do. People are saying that Arsenal on Osman, if they managed to get him, we could get Sesko. I'd wait for Arsenal to make an offer for Osman before buying a striker. Apparently, Osman is a guy that's in a bit of a limbo situation. I think Sesko is the guy for Arsenal at the moment. Let's have a look at this poll. Let's have a look at this bloody poll. Sesko at 50%. Yes. 48. It's dropped a little bit. Gyökeres at 35 and Apenda's at 17. Right, I'm going to end it there, lads. Interesting. Eze good. He's ever richer good. Eze good. He's ever richer good. New chant to the tune of... Oh, okay. Different, Stephen. I like the outside of thought process there. Let's have a quick look. Nothing's really going on here. Yeah, right. Nothing else really there. Right. Last few little questions here, and then I'm done. What do I do for work? I used to be a banker. I've used to be a PT. Used to do a lot of things, mate. Complete unrelated, but thoughts on the national service. Love Jeremy Clarkson's comment. I haven't seen it, Ollie, mate. Haven't seen it. Will we get any Celtic players like a Matt O'Reilly? Jota is in the Saudi league and not doing well, so I'm not too keen on him. Matt O'Reilly, I think he's with Atletico. I think Atletico Madrid O'Reilly situation's there. CMVR, mate. Take care. Ziyech would cook at Spurs. Yeah, he's a Galatasaray for a reason. Sofian. Rafinha, expensive, James. I do like him, but he is expensive. 200k a week. It's going to cost 40, 50 million. You got to weigh up the costs on these sort of things. If it means that if it means me not getting Eze, I'm gonna have to stop you there, and I'm gonna have to put Rafinha to a side to get that Eze in. De Bruyne will be a great backup for Maddison. Oh, De Bruyne might be off to Saudi. I couldn't believe it. It's bonkers. But anyway, guys, look, that's the end of the video. It's been way longer than I wanted to do it. Sure, it's got to be because I'm as... Oh, yeah, here we go. Ziyech was misunderstood at Chelsea. Teddy, mate, I'm off as well, so don't you worry. Hogan, mate, how are we? All right? But yeah, anyway, guys, I hope you did enjoy the live stream. Obviously, I will respond to comments after this, in the comment section below the video. So if you have any more, let me know anything in there. All right? I believe England's Rice spelling in Madison. No, so I think it's going to be mine instead, yeah. But anyway, lads, I hope you enjoy your evening, and I'll be back tomorrow with some more videos. Take care, everyone.